A few years ago, I moved into a one-bedroom apartment in Melbourne, Australia. Began one person recounting a personal horror story. It was my first time living alone. The building was from the 1930s, and I'd been there for a few months when I came home from work one day and went into the bathroom. I noticed something strange. A wooden board, which covered an opening in the ceiling leading to a small attic space, was broken in two on the floor. The board was about an inch thick, something only Bruce Lee could have broken. I thought the landlord had sent someone to work in the attic. I froze in fear, thinking someone was definitely up there. I emailed pictures to the landlord, asking if someone had been in there, with a tone of annoyance, because she hadn't warned me. Her reply read, "Please call me as soon as possible." I called, and she explained that her last two tenants had reported the same thing happening. She promised to replace the ceiling board, and she did. A month later, I woke up in the middle of the night at around 4 a.m., my body covered in goosebumps. I felt as if someone was rubbing their hands over me. There was complete silence, but then I heard a dragging sound above my bed, like someone pulling a sack of potatoes. I froze, convinced there was someone up there. No animal could make that noise. After 5 minutes, I gathered the courage to turn on the light, armed myself with a cricket bat, and headed to the bathroom. That's when I saw the new board covering the hole had been broken into two pieces again. I felt sick. The dragging sound stopped, but I heard something else, a whisper. The sound was clear and coming from the attic. It sounded like children's voices, repeating one phrase over and over: "It's your turn. It's your turn." I turned on every light in the apartment to make things feel normal. It was 5 a.m., and it was still dark outside. I watched TV to try to calm down. Then the circuit breaker blew. My pet parrot, Dexter, who stays in the kitchen, never makes noise at night. But he started screeching as if he was being strangled. I'd never heard him make that sound before. Grabbing my car keys, I left, sat in my car, and waited there until sunrise. When I saw people walking their dogs, I felt calm enough to go back inside. The front door was open, but I assumed I had forgotten to close it. I went to the kitchen to check on Dexter, but he wasn't in his cage. I felt sick again. All my windows were closed, so I searched the apartment. When I got to the bathroom, I heard a splashing sound. Dexter was half drowned in the toilet. I took him out, washed him, and dried him off. I was utterly baffled. At 8 a.m. I called the landlord and gave her a rundown of the previous night's events. She said, "Oh, I've heard the whispering." I stayed in that apartment for another 18 months. I heard the whispering a few more times, and twice the board covering the ceiling hole moved again. Although I live elsewhere now, the landlord recently called, saying the new tenants wanted to talk to me about some things happening there. "Forget it," I told her. "It's their problem now."